Hello there, Master Hellish here and welcome back to my Railroute tutorial series. For more information about me, including links to my Discord, head over to masterhellish.net. Now, this video is part of a series and you can find the link to the playlist in the description of this video. This time we'll be looking at the interface and controls, including the home screen, menus, times and speeds, the overview and the info panel. First up, it's the home screen, and the first thing on the home screen is the play section. From here you can continue a map that you've already started or start the in-game tutorial. You can also choose to start one of the endless or timetable maps. Now these I talked about in my previous video, so if you want to know about them and haven't seen it, pop back in the playlist and check it out. If you want to add a new map, you can do so with this little button here, and you can browse the Steam Workshop or paste in a map string. The next option is the editor, which we're going to look at in a future video. You have the game options, which is your standard sort of thing: video, sound and in-game options. You can also adjust the HUD, which I found useful since I play the game in 1440p, so I was able to get the interface to scale to just the right size. The other option is exit, but we're not going to do that now. We're going to jump into an endless game for the rest of this tutorial. Here we are in a game, and up in the top right hand corner, next to the useful hints button, is the game menu. From here you can resume, which just takes you back into the game, restart, which completely wipes everything you've done and starts the game afresh, save your game, which allows you to just go in, click new save, and there you go, your game is saved. If you go back into save, you can go in and edit the name of your save. For example, I could call this tutorial. If we go back in, you can see that we've got tutorial in there a couple of times, so I'm going to delete one. It's as easy as that. You can then load one of those saves just by clicking load and hitting the one you want to load. And you can also access the in-game options just like you could from the main menu. There's an option to go back to the main menu, as well as saving and exiting, and just exiting without saving. Over on the left hand side we have some options which you'll need to play the game. The first one is the build one. This allows you to expand your network and make changes to it. It has things like track and tunnels and signals and sensors. Some of them are greyed out because they're locked, but you can just select what you need and use it from here. We'll talk about how to build track and networks in a future tutorial. You've also got the option to bulldoze from here as well. The next option is the buy option. From here you can purchase platforms and auto blocks. The third option is the system upgrades. This is where you can unlock upgrades throughout your system. On here there's four main sections: the contract section for contract upgrades, automation, controls and interface. Now this interface isn't really the interface that we're talking about today. This is elements within the interface with extra buttons and data and bits. Helpful when you're trying to organise your trains. And the final option is the contracts. Here you will see new contracts popping up, and they pop up periodically as you're playing the game. Currently we've got the game paused, so that's not happening. Also, you have the active contracts button. This shows you what contracts you've got going on already. This can be a very useful page, and the filtering options at the top along with the sorting options can really be useful once you've got a lot of contracts. Down in the bottom left we have the time section. Here it shows you the current in-game time, and this runs in real time. 1 second is 1 second in the game. This is sometimes useful for knowing when a good time it might be to accept contracts, how long a train might be in the way for, or when you might want to expect the next train to come along. You can control the time with the pause button, and you can resume time with the play button to go to normal speed. You can also use the 5 times, 15 times and 25 times speed to make the game go along a lot faster. You can also pause the game by using the spacebar and then resume it again by pressing space again. Going to 5, 15 and 25 times speed can be done with the 2, 3 and 4 keys, and back to single speed with the key 1. Now I've just gone over to an ongoing game to show you the overview. Once you've unlocked a few features, you get a few extra buttons. Here we've got the smart sort, which brings more important things to the top. You can see we've got a train that's stopped at the signal just here, and we've got the option to enable audio notifications when something of interest happens. For example, a train getting stopped at a signal. You can see the list of the various different trains which are running on the network, and you can see where they're going and how long they're going to be travelling for. This overview section at the bottom can often be replaced with something else. For example, when you click on a train and highlight it, it shows you the train information. You can follow the train, or you can go back to the overview. Also, clicking on space that isn't anything else will take you back to the overview. In the bottom right hand corner we have the info panel. Here it's currently shown as the information for a station. We can have a look at any station by clicking on the station name and it will change that station. We get a snapshot of the timetable as well here, showing us what trains are expected at what platforms at what time, and a little red bar that shows you where we currently are in the day. To see the full timetable for that hour, you can just click the timetable button and that will show you on screen. There's also some other options down here once you unlock them. Accept trains automatically into the platform. This applies for stations that go out to a spawn point, like over here. We'll talk about more of them in the future tutorial. And we can auto reverse trains on dead-end platforms. Now the info panel also shows more things than just stations. Once you've unlocked sensors, you can click on a sensor and it will give you information about that sensor, or you can click on coach yards and it will give you information about that coach yard too. Now, it can also give you information about signals, but normally when you click on a signal, that is either turning the routing on or off or something like that. It's like activating the signal, which we don't want to do. We want the information. To get that, you just hold Control. Then I click and you can see we've got the information about this signal, its name and the routing and the queues involved. Let's see, we've got a queue here on this signal, there's a number 1 next to it, so you can see here that we actually have a routing queue, and if we hover over it you can see it's flashing away, showing us on the screen where that is. The same sort of thing happens for sensors, so if we have a sensor with a option of where it's going to, you can see if we hover over the station it shows us which station and which section of track. Again, we'll talk about routing sensors and how to use them in a future tutorial. Just be aware that all the information is down there, and if you want to look at signals you need to hold Control when clicking. So there we have it, a tour of the interface and controls of Railroute. In upcoming videos we have dispatching, building rail networks, dealing with contracts and getting money and experience. So if you're not already subscribed, consider doing so for more Railroute videos and other games like this. Put your thoughts, ideas and questions down in the comments section and I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now.